This is rubbish. Somebody should tell me why Graham Potter should not be sacked. Potter wants to destroy Chelsea for us and leave. I am disappointed in Burley, 100%. I don't know why he can't sack Potter and appoint Zidane. Zidane is the type of coach Chelsea needs, not Potter. He has all the needed players but can't perform. I don't even know where he learned his coaching course. Graham Potter is Chelsea's worst coach. We need Zidane now. Potter's incompetence is clear. Jamie Carragher claims the pressure will intensify on Chelsea boss Graham Potter to achieve after the club's influx of new players, insisting with their huge investment they must be looking to win the Premier League title next season. Jamie Carragher has claimed that Graham Potter will be under increased pressure to deliver success at Chelsea following the club's significant spending spree. Chelsea spent over £300 million in the January transfer window, with deals being struck for Enzo Fernandez, Noni Madueke, Mikhailo Mudryk, Benoit Badiashile, David Datro Fofana, Andre Santos and Malo Gusto. Carragher feels that with such significant investment from owner Todd Boehly, Chelsea will be looking to win the Premier League next season. Former Liverpool defender Carragher feels that Potter will have limited time to turn Chelsea into a title contender. Speaking on Sky Sports, Carragher said, "I think it makes it tougher. I think the reason you bring in Graham Potter is that he builds a club that's his history in management and that's why they've brought him in. But it feels like what they've done in the transfer market is the opposite of that. There's no right or wrong way of doing things. We've seen Chelsea in the past under Abramovich bringing lots of players in, changing managers all the time, but I don't think that bodes well for Potter in the future in terms of the amount of money they've sent and players they've brought in. Because that's pressure. The start of next season, with that kind of outlay, and they'll go again in the summer, you've got to win the league or go close, and that ramps up the pressure for the manager." Carragher also stressed the difficulties that Potter will have in attempting to get his methods across to a constantly changing squad. Carragher said, "The philosophy might have to be to build again. He'll be trying to get his methods across to a completely different group of players, and now even more players have come in. It's interesting because, with every Chelsea manager, there's been that question of who's really in charge here of bringing the players in. He's been quite vocal in press conferences before games that he's a coach, and he's thinking about tomorrow's training. From the press conferences, he's a level-headed character. He speaks about being not too high or not too low, and he said he wasn't too nervous on deadline day getting the Fernandes deal over the line, because he was thinking about training. That was someone else's job. But they've got the recruitment team in there, who at Brighton were bringing players in for the future, and the players Chelsea are bringing are young. But when you get to this level and the figures we're talking about, it's about the here and now." Carragher stated that Chelsea will have to get close to finishing in the top 4 this season. Potter will also have to deal with players being disappointed at being left out, with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, for instance, having been omitted from the club's Europa League squad. He said, "I wouldn't say he has to get into the top 4 because there's such a big gap right now, but he's going to have to get close. I'm not saying he'll lose his job if he doesn't, but there has to be an improvement. They made a great start under Potter, but it's tailed off. This club are so ruthless, and yes, it's new owners, but they changed their manager quickly and spent £600 million, so it's like nothing changed. It might be different going forward, but he must be sitting there thinking about what is he going to do with 30-odd players. Don't forget the 2 best managers we've had in this league over the last 5 years are Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, and they continually talk about having small squads. People get it wrong when they talk about City and say, the squad they've got, quality yes, but in terms of numbers you're talking about 20 to 21 players. They chose to have that because it keeps everyone believing they can play. The big problem Chelsea have is some players know they are not going to play, and what are they like in training and how that affects the team. That's the big problem for Graham Potter. Chelsea went into Friday's game at home to Fulham in 10th place, having endured an inconsistent first half of the season. Potter now has an array of talented players at his disposal, but it remains to be seen whether he will be able to get them playing cohesively together. Chelsea has a Champions League tie against Borussia Dortmund coming up, and it will be intriguing to see how they fare in that competition. During his previous job at Brighton, Potter was widely praised for his work, but he is unlikely to be afforded lots of time to make an impact at Chelsea. My opinion: Chelsea should sack Potter now because he doesn't. Chelsea is bigger than him. He is incapable and a destroyer. Zidane is capable. We need Zidane. Sack Potter. What do you think about Graham Potter? Leave a comment, and subscribe to this channel for more Chelsea news and updates. Chelsea is our name. Chelsea, the Blues. Chelsea, the best.